Presented by That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster, this is Shonen Jumping the Gun, the show where we set our sights on the first chapter of a manga and decide if it's a misfire or a bullseye.
Let's see how many rounds are in this magazine.
On today's episode, the Wize Wize Beasts of Wizarding Wisdom. Welcome everybody, I'm the FBI, furry boy inspector, Moxie the Yeen, here with the yaoi to my Yuri, Isekai Sensei-Sama Brad. Brad, how you doing?
Wait, what?
I wrote my jokes ahead of time, and I was really proud of my ones for this episode.
Wouldn't it be the other way around?
Isn't yaoi boy love?
Yeah.
Yeah, to my Yuri, girl love.
Okay.
Do with it what you will. This is a weird one. This is the technically end/bonus episode of the Beast arc. And it's a bonus episode, A, because we had already planned the initial 5, and I found this and went, that cover looks interesting.
We've came
and then
across
we read
this,
it, and then it became a bonus.
We came across this when we were doing the initial search, but
I just felt like we needed one more thing. I think
part of it was it's on manga decks, but there's no chapters. So like we were like, oh, this one, and then I opened it and I was like, there's nothing here.
I had to dig a little bit. But yeah, this is come on, Google Docs.
And then Moxie came back and was like, hey, we're going to do this one. I was like, okay.
Yeah. And I didn't know what it was going to, we'll get there. This is a single volume of 8 chapters by Nagabi.
It's an anthology. We are covering the very short prologue that's only like 3-4 pages. It's like an opening page and a spread, and the first chapter, which is one story amidst the 8 stories. Which I don't think we've done an anthology on here before.
No, but I'd be curious if these characters show up later.
There might be character overlaps, but the thing with anthologies
didn't really need anybody else.
Is that like point is that every single chapter it's like a one shot.
It's almost like we could read more of it for the show. Let's get there. We're so close. We're so close to the fireworks factory.
To be clear that like especially if we cover any other anthologies in the future, the first chapter isn't necessarily indicative of what's going to happen in the other ones because they're going to be completely different stories.
Yes.
That's the way anthologies work. But that won't stop us because we come up with wide-ranging
silly
theories
reasons to do things anyways
with no knowledge at all anyway.
Jump the gun. Now time for my patented Moxie's Mox Speed manga summary. Once upon a time, long ago, the great wise wizard Wisdom chose to bestow the shape and intellect of humans upon beasts. Thus were the demi-human tribes born. The tribe, seeking knowledge, built a marvelous grand academy named Wisdom in his honor. Chapter 1, Alan and Eddington, the Gifted and the Average. In the library, we meet our 2 protagonists, Bunny Boy Eddington, who is trying to study, and Cat Boy Alan, who is teasing him about it. Alan says you shouldn't try so hard at something you're not good at. Not that it really affects him. He then levitates Eddington's book to see what he's reading. Eddington finally fights back. Stop distracting me. I'm not like you. Studying is hard for me, so leave me alone. Alan notes how weird and standoffish Ed has been recently, before leaving in a very extra manner. We get to hear Eddington's thoughts about Alan, about how much smarter he is than everybody, and that Ed really looks up to him, but he's been singling out Ed a lot recently. Later, Eddington is in the laboratory mixing up a potion. He's made up his mind. He's going to do it. He finds Alan and invites him out to snacks, biscuits he made, and drinks. Alan questions if he was studying hard to learn to make these, which Ed denies, but actually he kind of was a little bit. Alan remembers that book Ed was reading yesterday as he takes a sip. It was about love potions, wasn't it? Ed denies it, but Alan continues needling. You must have a crush on somebody then. Who is it? Alan then slumps over. He's sleepy and hot all of a sudden. Wait a minute. Those are the side effects of a love potion. Yes, it worked, remarks Eddington. The potion was for Alan. Ed slipped it into his drink, but it's only temporary. The recipient will do whatever is asked of them, no matter what. Very nervously, our bunny boy Ed asks Alan to kiss him, please. The furry boys kiss. They do a lot of kissing. It's steamy. Then Ed asks his cat boy to say he loves him, which Alan complies and is asked again and again to say it. But Eddington knows this isn't how he really feels. Ed says how bad he is at everything, from classes to sports. He sucks. But Alan is just so great at everything. That's why he admires him. When he started talking to Ed more, even if it was only teasing, he wanted more. He wanted all the attention. Eddington had fallen madly in love with Alan. It's all he could think about, but it would never work. He could never tell him, so he'd keep it a secret. But that was too hard. It was driving him crazy, so this love potion was his attempt to get around those feelings and still remain friends, because when the potion wears off, the drinker falls asleep and forgets. It's the next morning, and Ed is feeling very weird and guilty about what he's just done to his friend. He has to act like nothing happened.
The correct emotion.
And surprise, it's Alan! He mentions yesterday being kind of blurry, but the snacks were good. And in classic Columbo style, he says he's got one more thing he forgot. He pulls Ed away and in for a kiss. Here's a tip, Ed. When mixing a love potion with another liquid, it dilutes its effect, so the memory loss didn't fully kick in. He teases Ed about the kissing and such, but clearly isn't too upset about it. But he does say it was a cowardly thing to do and a very cheap move. But we're going to do a reset. You're forgiven, and yesterday didn't happen, but only if Ed tells Alan why he's in love with him. The teasing continues as the chapter closes. Brad, I'm a sloppy bitch, and this is my sloppy bitch juice. I didn't know that when I started reading it, but as I read it, I was like, yes, I want it. Give it to me. Like,
okay.
This is so, like, compared to our last two, where it's like, this relationship is problematic. This one's actively problematic because a boy drugged another boy, and I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck.
I wanted to say...
I'm so excited what you think about this, Brad, because you've been teasing all night, and it seemed positive, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm getting it on. I don't want to know until we're on tape.
I wanted to say...
What are your feelings?
We should just get this out of the way quick and then not talk about it.
Yep.
Consent.
Yes, very important.
Love potion, not okay.
Not okay. They do, which they admittedly they comment on, and he feels guilty about it.
So, moving on.
Moving on. Thank you. How'd you feel, Brad?
I don't know how much I've talked about this on the podcast before. I feel like I must have during the horny episode at least, but and at some point. But I'm just going to say this again. This might come as a surprise to some people. I am bisexual. Okay. So it doesn't matter because I'm married and I have a child. Yes. But as far as what I am attracted to,
you can ogle these furry boys.
I'm attracted to feminine features.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what else is going on. These two boys are so fucking cute.
I know, there was a moment when they start kissing and it got a little too steamy porny, and I'm like, oh, is this gonna be porn and we can't cover it? And then that was that moment where I saw that's the peak of the arc of the steaminess of it, and I was like, oh, dodged a bullet there. That could have been like, I didn't want to have to hit like the escape button on and making it an episode, but like instantly the temperature in the room rises, and it was just like,
here's the thing.
Oh, and it's like, I know it's like, as I'm reading it, it's problematic, but also it's like, oh, it's the fucking Vince McMahon gif of him getting more and more excited.
I don't think you could have done anything to hook me more in a first chapter.
I think it has helped that, like you said, this is an anthology, so it gets to tell its own little complete story.
Well, but that's the thing, is like, these two are the dichotomy of what I am attracted to.
Ah.
So the timid little bunny boy.
Yes.
And the slick, but like still, small and somewhat femme-coded cat boy. I was just like, oh my God.
You're going to love Beastars when Louis shows up. Jesus fucking Christ, you're going to love Louis. He's such a top bitch.
I'm
so happy you love this, because I thought you were going to be like, yeah, I enjoyed it. And it was going to be just like salivating.
I think there's ways this could have gone where, I would have been like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
But like,
I'm just so happy you're like as on board as I am.
Went with exactly my thing.
Yeah. I didn't know I was going to like it as much as I thought. Like, I didn't know what to think going into it. I don't think I even had noticed it was a boys love manga. A BL, if you will.
I did know that because it was listed somewhere where I was.
Yeah, it's on the back of the. I think it's on the back of the book because I saw the cover on Amazon.
But that kind of stuff doesn't really turn me off.
No, not that I wouldn't. Not that I'd be against it, but like by and
it
large,
doesn't turn me off.
Yeah. Like by and large, I do not like boys. But these are. I mean, maybe I don't know if it's just because, like you said, they're kind of like they're not necessarily like femme.
Yeah.
But they're cute. They're cute boys.
They don't have masculine
and it helps
features.
that they are furries because that just that skips the circuit in my brain, and I just go, oh my gosh, the cute boys.
Yeah.
We're normally like we're gonna have a boys arc at some point, maybe, and I'm not gonna be into any of those boys, probably, almost assuredly. But hey, maybe that comes back. We do more because it's an anthology. We do more stories when we do the boys arc, and we just find reasons to shoehorn this into every. We're doing Harry Potter ripoffs. Oh, we got to do another chapter of Wize Wize Wizards. We'll do along with Mashal.
It's an anthology, so we just do the Wize Wize Beasts arc. Just do the whole thing week after week.
No, we couldn't do that. We'll sneak it in there. Just the look of it, the dynamic of it.
Well, that's another important thing because like I think everybody knows that I have a weird relationships with art.
You do. You're lame.
And like old art styles, like that old manga style, I just am not.
Well, this
into
isn't
at
that
all.
though.
No, let me continue. Mm-hmm. I'm getting to that. Mm-hmm. I'm reinforcing the things I have said in the past so that when I say that I love this art style, it's more impactful because this has sort of a watercolor-esque style to it.
I was going to say it's very inky.
Yeah, inky. Where it's like it's got the rough edges and there's some bleed to it and everything, but like the actual fidelity of the character design and the background designs and everything is just excellent. The world is beautiful. They're in this beautiful castle in the library and the like, set and setting. Very
clearly Harry Potter inspired.
Yeah, a lot of it. But I'm into
Which is fine. Yeah, because we're not paying. We don't have to set up anything specific of the school outside of the prologue. Is literally just like, hi, there's furry people. There's a wizard school. They're at the wizard school. They're the boys' kiss, and it's like you got exactly what you needed. The prologue was 3 pages. You get to see all the boys in a spread, and you just get to where you get to your little stories.
There is a version of
because you already fucking know about you've osmosis. Even if you've never read it, you know enough about Harry Potter that you've osmosis.
Yeah.
You, the royal you, that you have whatever you need with that 3 pages and your wizard knowledge.
Right. There's a version of this with different characters, or even either one of them that's a different character that I am enjoying, but I'm not all about. But the fact that it is specifically these two.
What, these archetypes?
Yeah.
This dynamic?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The fact, I love that when the bunny boy is so timid, but when the potion starts kicking and he's like, it worked, and he's like getting super hype about it, and not just like if he was kind of like low and cowardly the whole time, it would have been really icky.
He's a bunny, so he's horny as fuck.
Yeah, but it was just like but also like during it, he notices like with the he gets really excited like the love you and the kissing, but then he's like in that moment he's having the emotional thing while he's also having his big horny moment.
Yeah.
And the fact that he can juggle both of them, I love.
I gotta say, I don't know that we've ever talked about this, but like horniness, there's 2 different levels because there's normal horny, like I'm horned up, and then there's like I love this person and I'm horny. That's just a completely different level.
Yeah,
and that's what this is.
This is like it's not like oh pretty lady boing. It's like. Fanning myself, it's like again, it's the Mr. McMahon getting increasingly excited about. I don't even remember what he's looking at some point. I knew, but like that's the feeling I feel when I'm talking about this. Like, oh yeah, and I'm turning more red as I'm reading it and having a grand old time. Yeah, you need to see Beastars very badly. I love this. I love this manga. I did not know. As soon as I finished it, I'm like, this is I'm a sloppy bitch, and this is my sloppy bitch juice. I just want to keep drinking it.
There's multiple levels to it, because on one hand, it's cute and fluffy, and it's like, oh, look, they love each other.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, it's like steamy.
It's steamy, but also it's like very like everybody's dressed like, and everybody's got their nice school uniforms on, and the background's like everything's very elegant.
Well, and that's the thing, is you believe the setting immediately because of
the art.
The art
is doing so much. I don't want to say heavy lifting, because I don't even notice it's happening, but in a good way.
They don't go into the world hardly at all. It's like, oh, he's making a potion.
It's the setup.
They're studying. Yeah. That's it. We don't get any classroom interactions.
No chaffed.
Yeah.
All meat.
And so it cuts right into what it needs to do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And yeah, it got me.
Glass. Just because we said in the other ones, and I just need to say it, I know we open with this now, but just to continue this continuing arc of when you throw stones when you live in a glass house, I think we are able to float the fuck over that love potion so easy. Like, our brains can notice it, but our emotional bodies are just fucking miles above it, because we just enjoyed this so much. And I just want to make sure that I put down in auditory writing of like, hi, this is why I try to check when I'm throwing stones, because when you're electrons in alignment and you're having a grand old time, your ability to float over things, royal you, is infinite.
Right. Now, because
my brain can go, that was a fucked up thing he did, but my emotional feels like, yeah, fuck it, hell yeah, let's do it. I get it.
Eddington.
He's not an Eddie. He's Ed. You didn't see this because it's in the summary, which I read. He's specifically Ed with 2 D's, like double D from Ed and Eddie. He is not Ed single D. He is not Eddie. He is Ed with 2 D's.
But what we saw, Eddington roofied Alan. That's what that was.
Yes, and 100%. Like literally, somebody got. Yeah.
The only reason it's okay is because Alan's into it.
But also he put a boundary. He
didn't know that beforehand.
He didn't. That's things that continue to make it better. He didn't just go, I'm into that shit. He went, hey, I like you and I'm feeling things, but also like that was fucking bullshit what you did. And I'm going to, admittedly what he likes, tease you greatly over this. But like, I like that he made a specific boundary point, that he wasn't 100% a sloppy bitch. He had boundaries and standards, which he put out into the world. But then he's also like, and he's like, I want this, we're going to build it, but we're going to build it right. But what you did was cowardly. And it's like, yes, let's have emotional maturity even sometimes when we don't, and make a point about it. And it's really hot.
And because we need to, like, it's important to say, it doesn't matter genders, consent is important.
Yes, but this teaches us you can have the cake and then eat it.
You want to get consent first.
Yes. No, but you can have your sloppy bitch juice moment of like, it's really hot, that the love potion and all this happening, but then you can make a comment about it and emotionally discuss it, but then also eat the cake by going, but also Alan likes you, so like it's not literally just 100% done on site.
So
you get to have a happy ending, but you also get to have an emotionally mature moment to discuss it with both characters.
There's a slightly better version of this where we have a more clear indication that Alan likes Ed beforehand.
No. That does not make it better. That needs to wait until the end. Because it has to be, oh, I fucked up, but I hopefully will get away with my thing. But then he gets to eat the cake.
I mean, it's lack of consent either way. But there's a lack of consent where
don't care. Too sloppy, too bitch, too juice, too steamy. Don't give a fuck. No, it waits till later. I don't care. Morally, you're right. But in my heart, and if you search yours, your heart, you're wrong.
I mean, I don't really care, because I just want to know if the cat fucks his bunny. So
thank you for remembering that one. Well, fuckums the bunny. Did I ever send you that image so you can see the spelling?
I don't think you did.
I need to send that. Well, once Beastars come out, I'll put it in chat.
So yeah.
I want to know about more boys. I hope we get to see them again later in the background, but also maybe not. I don't know. I'd be curious if this author will do more in the future.
I have seen gay romance before. There's a lot of manhwa that's gay romance.
We
and
haven't covered anything with boy romance, right?
So you might know this from Heroin Addiction. Ben likes the big broad chest. Okay.
Yes, he does. He likes the big man.
I'm not into that.
No.
I like them small.
You like them Twinkie.
Yeah, they last longer.
Brad, no. Ugh. I don't even. Ugh.
So
ugh,
there's a difference there.
I don't even know what that's fully implying. Don't stop. Just keep going. I don't know. Just keep going.
It's the cream and
Fuck. No. Just keep going. I will use my sour mouth spray as pepper spray. I will get up and spray it directly. I will lift your glasses and spray this directly into your eyes. Move forward.
I just told you this is my thing.
Yes, I know.
But yeah, so pretty much all of the manhwa, the guy in that is always like
big man.
Yeah. Manly man.
Yeah.
Because even when it's more like, oh, this is the traditional svelte Korean kind of guy, it's like he's still tall and
it's the man from Sacrificial Beast when he's a man is just like, this is a handsome man and I could not give less of a shit.
And I'm not attracted to those men.
No, same.
But not only are these svelte boys,
cute,
but also they're I like bunnies. I like them. Yeah. I like the bunnies. Yeah. And kitties are good too. A cat is fine too.
I love these boys. I'm excited to read more of it. What happens next? More of the boys kiss and other things. I don't know.
What happens next? Completely different things.
Somebody else.
Probably completely different characters.
I think all the chapters are 2 character names and probably whatever like the actual title chapter and then their names.
There's going to be one where one of them is like a bear or an elephant, I think one of them or something
an ox,
like that.
Maybe from the spread. I never got a good look at the spread online because you see them one pages at a time.
I'm interested in it, but I'm not going to be as
none of them are going to be as good, but it's still going to be. I'm excited to read.
Yeah, I like literally. They wrote this first chapter to get me hooked.
Yeah, same. I guess from that, what are your feelings? What's your brain, your thinky thinks and your feely feels, your mobs and your sobs?
Thinky thinks, this is great. Like it's executed so well. The art is really good. The setting is interesting, if not, explored enough in this first chapter.
Does exactly what it needs to do.
So overall, I'd say that it's done very, very well. As far as my feelings go, I'll say amazing.
Yep. Agreed.
I can't go higher than that to our top level only because there's really not anything else in here.
Well, what?
It needed more to get there, but it's also
it's
close.
An anthology, so it's somewhat of an introduction of what's to come, but it's like this dynamic is my favorite. These other ones are going to have to be different, and even if they're still really good,
right.
Like it's not as much of a promise. I mean, I always go back to Astro Bay because it was the one at least I felt like over the moon about. It's like sometimes that the first chapter can be a promise of what's to come, and in this case it is, but it's an anthology, so it's like it's a promise of what's to come, but also it's going to be somebody different. It's going to be different, even if it's still this art and this look and this vibe. It has to be different. So the promise is not as.
Yeah.
I think both my thinky thinks and my feely feels are in alignment here. I think this is amazing. I think it does exactly what it needs to. The art catches eyes. The dynamic, the story is wonderfully paced. It's fairly short, but it's just like, it was like, we don't need another chapter. Like, this is the story. The prologue is literally just 3 pages to capture the concept in a sentence. Mm-hmm. And it was like, this is all we need. And it was great. It was perfect. I felt all the emotions. I had a great time. I'm salivating to read more of it. Speaking of, would you buy the volume on this?
I already did.
Brad! Me too! I went to the bookstore and I bought it! Yay! We're both sloppy bitch juice.
So, as you know, generally I try to wait until the day we record to read stuff because I like it to be fresh.
Yeah, because you read this today because you asked me.
I don't want to...
Did you order it from Amazon?
I don't want to brood on stuff, and I don't want to talk about it early.
Yeah.
Generally. So yeah, earlier today, I'm like, wait, what was the name of this? Yep. I go and I look, and as I mentioned earlier, no chapters on Manga Deck. So I was like, oh shit, I got to find this. What am I going to do? So I start looking around, and I found the official English site on 7 Seas Entertainment. And I'm looking down like, oh, where can you get it? And I'm looking around like, oh, so you got physical copies and then there's digital copies. And I was like, oh, I don't know. What am I going to do? So on the Apple, the iBook or whatever the heck it is, they have a free preview.
Yeah.
So
it cuts the middle of chapter 1 out. Mm-hmm. At least the book preview that I found, I'd found a digital version put up somewhere of chapter 1 in its entirety, but there was an official one. I don't know. I mean, maybe your iBook one was different. I think it was Amazon had a book preview that was like the first half and the last half.
Okay, the one on
of chapter 1 in the prologue.
The one on Apple Books was like the first half of chapter 1.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I saw,
including the prologue.
Yeah.
So I read that, and as I'm reading this, I'm like, this is what I'm into. Uh-huh. And so I just purchased it on Bookwalker because it's only $10. I was like,
it was a great deal. It was a great deal. I went to my local bookstore. I was having a rough time and wanted to give myself a little bit of a booster. And I'm like, learning that this was only a volume was like, yeah, heck yeah. I had a great time. I'll keep this on my shelf. And the internal comedy of getting to the front table with it and the two people back there, a little younger or whatever, being like, oh, this looks really cool. And I'm like, they're like, is it multiple volume? I'm like, nope, it's just one volume. It's just a collection. And just trying to be like, don't know that this is a Steamy Boys manga. Like, just make it looks cool. Because they're like, wow, this art looks really cool. And I'm like, it is. Ha ha. Please don't look too closely at the BL tag on the back. I don't want to have that conversation right now. You seem nice.
Yes, I have it. I got it digitally just because.
I should have bought this on Amazon, so Amazon stopped seeing I'm thinking of such a fucking degenerate after I bought one volume of Nana and Keiru. Now it thinks I'm a different kind of degenerate than what it's advertising me as. I hate it.
I would have actually bought the physical version, but I couldn't find a bookstore that had it in stock nearby.
Because I bought it, bitch.
And bought the one copy.
I bought it already. You could have gone to Barnes & Noble. You wouldn't have found it because I bought it yesterday. 2 days ago. I did not read any more. I was waiting for this episode, but you better fucking believe tomorrow I'm reading the rest of this. And if you want to borrow it when I'm done, because I'll be done tomorrow, I will lend it to you.
I got the whole digital volume.
I know you don't have a lot of physical manga paper holdering, but yeah, I'm big excited to read the rest of that because these are not coward furries. These are furry furries, and I love that. It's really good.
So as far as jumping the gun goes, I didn't even need the full first chapter.
Yeah, no. Hell yeah. Should you read the Wize Wize Beasts of Wizarding Wisdom? Yes.
I mean,
you should try it. You can find the chapter 1. You can find chapter 1 in its entirety floating around the internet. I found it and read all of it.
There's definitely going to be some people who
aren't into it.
This is not their
thing.
No. But I think most of our listeners could probably
I would say
get something out of
a good chunk of our
this.
listeners and regulars would enjoy it. Like, give it a shot.
Because even if you're not into this,
you might be
kind of thing.
I was more into
really
it than
cute.
I was more into it than I was expecting, and that kind of surprised me. Which is why I used the phrase, "This is my sloppy bitch juice," because it's just so wonderfully steamy and just like, yes, I know it's problematic, but I don't. Whatever, give it to me. I want more.
So, in a surprise to no one, this is my number one of
this
the
is my
Beast
number
arc.
one. This one.
Actually, I guess that is a surprise because as of last episode, my number one was the Isekai. So.
Yeah, good. Family-friendly entertainment beats out Isekai.
This is.
I know. Not even a little bit. I don't know where my brain was at to get that. I don't know. I mean, some of that is like B stars. A is longer, and B I have a lot of future vision on. Beastars is the top of the sundae, but Wize Wize Beasts is the cherry on top. So they're kind of sharing it. They're two different things, but they're kind of sharing the spot.
You coward.
No, fuck you. Brad, fuck you. You haven't taken in the rest of Beastars. Fuck you. And I haven't taken in the rest of this.
Listen, this is Shonen jumping the gun.
If I'm only going the first chapter, Wize Wize Wizards is at my top. All together, I can't tell you until I read the rest of it, and I will at some point in the future. I will tell you how I feel about this more or less than, because also Beastars is like a slutty mess later.
Caveats are fine.
Yes,
but you got to go off
Beasts
of
of Wizarding Wisdom on the first chapter is my top and winner of the Beast arc, and I'm glad we had the Beast arc because it brought me this manga into my life. Holy heck.
That was the surprise of the Beast arc.
Yeah, the true surprise of the Beast arc was the furry smut we found along the way.
Not smut.
I don't know.
Not yet, anyway.
Our definitions of smut is different.
Listen, I read smut.
No,
okay?
I know. So things have, that kiss is very steamy. When she got the spittle,
it's borderline.
When there starts the shot when they got the spittle is like, oh fuck, this may be too much, and then it slows
in silhouette like that.
Yeah. Brad, before I get the hose, we got to finish this episode. So
do we?
Thank you everybody for listening.
I can talk about this for another half an
hour. What do you want to say? Besides just saying the same three things over and over, getting really happy and excited.
I mean, I guess that's
exactly. We've said our piece. I
really like bunnies.
I'm noticing. We gotta watch Beastars. We cleared our anime plate, so we're gonna have a good time. Brad, or I guess first listeners, thank you for listening to this horny mess. Thank you for joining us on the insanity that was the shotgun blast of the Beast arc. And Brad, hit me with them plugs if you can have the wherewithal to read right now. Gross.
Hey, we partner with this place. This is one of those episodes, so, it's in the description. You all know what it is. 15% off and all that, APR 15. Go listen to a different episode if you don't know what I'm talking about. If you want to talk to us about this episode, find us on social media.
Find us on our Discord and nowhere else.
You can find the links on our website, animepodcastreincarnation.com. We will talk to you about this.
We will talk to you about this. That's a threat.
There's probably a level where we'll be like, okay, that's too far. Slow it down. But
will this release the week of Valentine's Day?
Oh, shit. Anyway, find our social links on our website, animepodcastreincarnation.com. Come talk to us on the Discord. Yeah, we'll talk about this. We'll see how everybody feels.
Yep.
You can also support us on Patreon. Our supporters get perks like getting to vote on what we cover on heroin addiction. This I don't know if this falls under heroin addiction content. It's definitely borderline.
This?
Yeah.
This isn't heroin addiction.
Definitely romance.
Sacrificial Beast or Sacrificial Girl and the King of Beasts was heroin addiction adjacent enough. This is just straight romance. This one's for us.
But yeah, so you can vote on that. We've got bonus episodes, and you can also get the high quality stereo version of the podcast early. And of course, we have to shout out our patrons, the people who make episodes like this possible. At our noble tier, we've got our marquee, Sir Cake Dwarf.
Ba-ba-da-ba!
At our reincarnator tier, we've got Moon. And last but not least, at our commoner tier, we've got Kill Hour and Rena. So thank you so much to all our patrons.
Thank you, Brad, for that. Thank you once again for listening, you wonderful listeners. And you, make sure you listen to all the different podcasts on our feed. And Brad, there's no ending joke. We're ending this podcast. I'm making you leave my house, and I'm reading the rest of this manga, The Wize Wize Beasts of the Wizarding Wizdoms. There's no gag. Just get out of my house. Dude, I'm dying. The fact that you seem generally like positive about this is like, wow, I'm excited to talk about this.
Oh, you are not prepared for this.
Oh boy. I don't think anybody is. Oh my gosh, today's episode's the Wize Wize Beasts of Wizarding Wisdom. It's my sloppy bitch juice voice.
Get in, bitches. We're going for furries.
Okay. In the library, we meet our two protagonists, Buddy Boy. We get to hear Eddington's thought. Man, what kind of name is Eddington?
Eddington Bear?
It's Paddington. I guess that's his cousin or his brother. We get to hear Eddington's thoughts about Alan, and the other one's just Alan.
Just call him Ed.
I do sometimes, but sometimes I call him Eddington when he needs the full title. Alan questions if he was studying hard to learn to make these with Ed. No, wait. I'm going to take another run about that. Alan questions if he was studying hard to... Fudge!
You were just making fun of me about not being able to read shit.
Yeah, but that's because that was shit that you've read every single episode. That was the point. It was the repetition of it. This is the first time I'm reading it.
Fuck you.
Yes, correct. No, justified. This is super not the episode. This should have been a conversation that happened last episode. It's dawning on me, and maybe this can now be spliced into that one. No, let's finish this. I have a conversation to have to splice into Beauty and the Beast Girl. Cut all this and then put the conversation we have in there.
You're gonna make me.
Yes. No. It's important. It's something I wanted to talk about from when I was reading it, and it just slipped my mind until right now.
Okay. Well, we're gonna completely cut.
Yes.
And then
oh wait, I'm gonna say it out loud so
separately.
you have it in your head so we can have that conversation. Reading Beauty and the Beast Girl, it's hard to not read it as a trans allegory, even if that wasn't the intention.
Okay.
I'm going to come back to that. Pin in that. Cool. So, Beauty and the Beast Girl. You just want that to be its own little island of recording?
Yeah, because it'll be way more difficult to then go and cut it out of this one.
Correct.